Yes, this is Igor Kafetz. Welcome to this traffic training. We're about to begin in just a sec. I'm going to let you guys log in and get on. Can you just confirm real quick in the chat by typing in a yes, whether or not you can see my presentation, whether or not you can hear my voice, whether or not the audio and video is in check. So type in the chat real quick. Yep. Seeing yeses, all good, technically good, perfect. Well, in that case, we're ready to get going, and we are talking about traffic generation today, the most favorite topic for anyone who's trying to make money online. In fact, it is the most favorite one because almost no one knows how to do it correctly, even though everyone talks about it. So that is why, once and for all, I want to help you with this problem by teaching you the one traffic source you could start using today to generate an easy 500 leads every single day, like clockwork, complete autopilot. Now, to begin, I would like for you to meet Alexis Affiliate. Alexis Affiliate is somebody who exists in real life. However, I changed the name for privacy, and she decides she wants to make money from home. She decides that in her teaching job, she enjoys it, she loves it, she loves the kids that she's working with, but she's not making enough money. It's not enough to cover bills, and it's not enough to really afford her a better lifestyle. So she decides to learn how to make money online. And she attends a free seminar that's taking place in her hometown. And when that happens, when she goes to that seminar, she meets Margaret Marketer, another person, another woman who is a nurse, but who also decided that the income she and her husband are making is not enough to really afford them the lifestyle they want, as well as the ability to put some money aside for retirement. So she also attends this seminar, this free seminar, where she meets Alexis, and together they kind of set on this journey, right? They sit down for a cup of coffee, they chat, they really hit it off, and then when the seminar is over, they take the notes and the swag bag, if you will, and they head home to implement everything they learned. Now, some time passes, about 6 to 12 months or so, and Alexis attends another seminar where she once again meets Margaret Marketer. Now, the only difference is that Alexis is still attending the seminar to learn how to make money online, to learn how can she promote something, how can she generate traffic, how can she finally start making some money because she hasn't been making money at all. While Margaret is actually speaking at the seminar about the amazing success she's experiencing since she started, because she is now hitting $10,000 per month online, and she's been invited to talk about that. So what is the difference between the two women? What is the difference between somebody, between two women who start out at the same time, at the same place, with the same skill set, with the same ambition, but one of them succeeds and one of them does not? Well, here's the difference. Okay, here's the difference. Alexa's affiliate, the person who did not succeed yet, she wants to use free traffic. And she's been trying all the beaten to death free traffic techniques like social media, blogging, posting on Quora, posting on Reddit, trying to optimize a website for search engines, etc. And as a result, not only she wasted lots of time, but she's also about $5,000 in on the so-called free traffic because she had to buy software and tools and all sorts of automation stuff, and she had to get extra coaching to learn how to generate free traffic because no one ever tells you how to do it for free, and yada 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 yada, right? So she also has to work late nights because she has to work after hours, right? So she comes back home, she needs to check the homework that the kids submitted, and then she has to find the time to work on her business, which is very challenging. So she ends up doing it after everyone goes to bed. And as a result, of course, she misses time with the kids. A relationship with her husband is deteriorating very fast. It's on the decline because the husband doesn't understand, why does she need to work? And he kind of struggles to fall asleep alone in bed, plus makes him feel kind of dumb because he's a provider, right? And all of a sudden, she basically is doing something that implies that he's not doing a good job. And after all of that, after all the sacrifices Alexis made, she's still unsuccessful at making money online. On the other hand, Margaret, she decides to use paid traffic because she values time over money. And although she understands it requires a bit of risk taking, she decides to start out with small ad spend and scale with her results. As a result, because her traffic is automated, she's getting lots of free time to enjoy, to either enjoy with her family or to maybe work on her business more aggressively than Alexis can, because Alexis is always busy just trying to drive traffic, while Margaret is actually doing things that are producing money. And as a result, very quickly, in relative terms to Alexis, Margaret is hitting $10,000 a month without quitting her nursing job, and she's even able to take 2 months of work that year to go on a trip around the country with her family, which was a lifelong dream of hers. Because now her income does not depend on any location, it does not depend on any particular time investment. She's got a system in place, and as a result, she's allowing herself to take the 2 month off work and not lose her income. So the purpose of this webinar is to help you become more like Margaret and less like Alexis, because Margaret has it figured out. Margaret has a system that generates quality leads. And therefore, the question we'll be answering in this webinar is, what's the best paid traffic source to use? We're going to touch on free traffic some more on this training. However, free traffic is, I'll kind of sum it up for you, it's a waste of time and money. Don't let anyone fool you. Free traffic costs money too. And I'll share with you exactly based on my own experience in a bit. But the primary question we're going to answer is, what's the best paid traffic source to use? What's the best paid traffic source you can start using on a budget? And how to break even with traffic. Meaning, on this webinar, what I'm going to do for you, I'm going to give you an automated quality traffic source that almost no one is talking about for virtually any offer, market, or niche that I use to generate thousands of visitors every single day on Autopilot. I'll give you a traffic source that's 20 times more profitable than Facebook and social media platforms. I'm going to show you a way to start driving traffic as soon as today on a budget, even if you're brand new, have nothing going on. And a secret, I'm going to reveal to you a secret to breaking even on your paid traffic quickly almost every single time. Does that sound fair enough? Do you think that's a good reason to spend the following hour together learning this stuff? Give me a yes, no in the chat. Okay. All right. So got lots of yeses coming in. Perfect. So another thing I promised you is this. I promised to give you an ethical bribe, a gift for attending the call. And when you attend this webinar training in full, I'm going to give you my secret traffic Rolodex containing 7 top instant traffic sources you can use today to start generating leads. Okay, deal? The only thing you need to do to qualify for this is to stay until the end of the call. Okay, that's a very simple agreement. Okay, are we in agreement? Okay, we are in agreement. Perfect. So why should you listen to me? Why me? What makes me qualified to give you advice on traffic? Well, first and foremost, I started out just like everyone else, broke, having no clue how to do any of this stuff. And of course, fueled by a desire to make money. And as a result, I've built a 7-figure business from quite literally my bedroom. And I'm also somebody who you'd consider a super affiliate, because I make as much as $21,779.45 in affiliate commissions in a single day as a result of having access and knowing how to generate traffic. But that's of course not the best day. You know, on some days I can make as little as $6.2 thousand, but of course as high as $36,147.39. Some affiliate programs are paying me over $170,000, and other affiliate programs are paying me 40 bucks, 200 bucks, 100 bucks a day. And that's fine too. The point being is that I've got multiple streams of income, and it's all thanks to my ability to generate traffic. I even became the top 1% affiliate on the Warrior Plus network very quickly after just one promotion. Won a bunch of affiliate awards that I've been awarded over the years. And again, it's a very systematic thing that I do simply because of one thing. I know traffic generation, and the transformation of me going from somebody who doesn't know traffic, doesn't understand traffic, doesn't know how to get traffic, to somebody who became a master at it happened just as quickly as it happened for Neo, not because of the knowledge I received, but because the traffic source I was exposed to is very easy. And it doesn't take a lot to master. In fact, you can master it in one sitting, and I'll show you exactly how to do it in this training. Sounds fair enough? The only thing that I ask is you promise me you'd implement it in your business, meaning whatever I show you, you don't just kind of listen to it, hear about it and then kind of throw it under the mattress, so to speak, because whatever, but rather give it a shot. Do I have your commitment to give it an honest shot if I show you how to do this? Give me a yes in the chat if you are giving me your commitment, giving me a promise to take a stab at this stuff. Awesome. Fantastic. Now, the one thing I want to point out is that I do not support and I do not agree with the idea that you have to wake up, hustle, give up sleep, hustle, 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 give up food, hustle, hustle, give up time with family, etc. I do not agree with this mentality. If you like Gary Vee or Grant Cardone, what they say about how you have to always be hustling, that's not what this is about. I'm not about that, because when I hustle, 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 I have no time for my family. I have no time for my health. I have no time for investing. I have no time for my hobbies. Therefore, if I become a slave to my online business, guess what? It's not worth it. Instead, I am a great believer that you need to have a balance between your income and your fun and your health and your family. Therefore, what I want you to understand is that the technique I'm going to be teaching you focuses exactly on that to help you have more freedom. Okay? Sounds fair enough? Give me a yes in the chat. All right. So when I was growing up, though, I was born into a family of a mechanic and a music teacher. That's my mom, Evgenia. She's a music teacher. That's me, the little blondie. And that's my brother Oleg standing behind my mom. So my mom basically told me, study hard, work hard, and someday you will make good money. Someday it will happen. But somewhere along the way, I read this book. Anyone here read the book before? Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. This book changed my life because it made me realize that the people who are rich, the rich people, are not the ones who are working the hardest. Rich people are the ones who build systems. Rich people are the ones who figure out marketplace demand and know how to channel that demand correctly. And right about that time, when I read that book, affiliate marketing was becoming popular, and I decided that I would like to become an affiliate marketer because that seemed like the vehicle that would get me places, because I didn't have a business plan, I didn't have a product, I didn't have an investor, I didn't have any credit, so I couldn't borrow money from the bank. I had to start with something that would allow me to build a business from nothing, right? So affiliate marketing really fit the bill, and my dream was to wake up in the morning, check my computer, see payment notifications come in, and kind of enjoy myself for the rest of the day. And as you know, when I got into affiliate marketing, what became very clear is that the number one job affiliate has to fulfill is getting traffic, right? Really, the number one thing any affiliate needs to do is get traffic to offers. If you get traffic to offers, you're making money as an affiliate. That's the basic premise. Do you understand this premise? Because it's kind of important. You understand this. Okay, cool. So I started out with free traffic techniques. The first one being Facebook. Again, it was becoming very popular at the time. And the idea was, let me add lots and lots and lots of people as friends on Facebook, and then let me send them private messages, post on their wall, tell them I want to be their friend. And then once I got the conversation going, I would, pitch them something. Well, two problems came up. First one being is that I would end up in Facebook jail pretty much a couple of times a week. So I couldn't really scale this anywhere. I would add like 20, 30, maybe 50 people a day, and then bam, end up in Facebook jail. So that was kind of sucky. I had to start several accounts. So I had to manage several Facebook accounts all at the same time to avoid this issue. Started like, 15 of them. And eventually it became so confusing, so overwhelming that I just quit because I didn't make any sales. As soon as people, the few people who responded to me, because remember, I was just adding strangers on Facebook. They didn't know me. I wasn't their family, right? It's just a complete stranger. So the moment I added them, they added me back. The moment like I would see, oh, such and such accepted your friend request, I would send them a message immediately. And the ones who replied very quickly understood that I'm there to sell them something. And guess what they did? They blocked me or just stopped, just started ignoring me completely and stopped answering my messages. So, that tactic did not work. So I decided to switch to another social media site, Twitter. Now, Twitter, of course, I felt would be very different because on Twitter, the technique was really simple. You go around, you follow a bunch of people. They don't put you into a Twitter jail. They just let you follow as many people as you want. Some of these people will follow you back. Then you retweet their content and you hope that they retweet your content back to their followers. And eventually, this is how you get traffic. Well, the problem with that, first off, I didn't want to like do the manual labor anymore. So I got a really expensive piece of Twitter software that would automatically follow people. And this way I built myself a good following, like 2,000 very quickly. But the problem is that anytime that I tweeted anything, especially if I tweeted offers, right? So you like anytime I tweeted an affiliate link, it's like people could smell it on me, and they would not retweet it, they would not read it, they would not engage with it, right? Because people don't really like to be sold, especially in social media where they had no intent to buy anything. People don't go on Twitter to buy stuff, right? The people go on Twitter to follow their favorite celebrities. So then I switched again and I started doing article marketing. In fact, here's my profile from Ezon Articles. You can see I wrote 63 articles, and the requirement was, I think, at least 500 words each. So I've done some writing, even though I was not a writer. I had no idea how to write. By the way, if any of you tried this, any of these techniques, type the technique in the chat. I'm just curious. Like if you tried Facebook, adding people on Facebook, or following people on Twitter, or writing articles, let me know how that worked for you. So for me, article marketing didn't really work, because even though I was ranking for some keywords through Ezon articles, at the end of the day, almost nobody was clicking on my author bio box that would usually lead to some sort of offer. Because again, people didn't really appreciate being sold. So I figured, you know what, let me take this content, put it on my blog, and I started a blog, started posting product reviews. I started, updating the blog several times a day. At the time, when you wanted to optimize your website for the search engines, you needed to build lots and lots and lots of content, and you needed to link it everywhere so you could get, you know, like a juice, right? Whatever, link juice or whatever it's called. So I worked really hard on that blog for like 8 months or so. I worked really, really hard, and I was trying to make money. In fact, I even generated some traffic. My blog at some point was generating about 200 visitors per day, but for some reason it wasn't actually making me money. I wasn't making any sales, nobody was clicking on the banner ads, and no one was really engaging with the blog. So I say, you know what, let me fuel that with YouTube, because YouTube was really becoming popular at the time. So you can see this is a video I've uploaded in 2009. In 2009, pretending to host a contest where I would supposedly give away $900 in free prizes, which of course I did not, because it was only clickbait to get people to pay attention. So I literally tried everything and everything. I faked it till I make it, till I made it. I've done everything, and all of this stuff doesn't work. In fact, here's a great example. One of my videos about Twitter marketing actually went viral in a way and generated 17.7 thousand views. Now, to me, I don't know about you, to me, that's a lot. Like, I've never had a video take off and get 1 million views or anything, but this is a lot, especially about a topic most people really are not interested in. So, guess how many sales? Type in the chat, how many sales do you think I've generated from this video? Okay, let's see. Oh, you're very generous. Yeah, you're very generous, because I didn't generate any sales. No sales whatsoever. 17,000 views and no sales whatsoever, which of course made me realize that, hey, everything I'm doing here kind of doesn't work. But I didn't want to give up, because the prospect of just working a day job for the rest of my life really didn't make sense to me. So I continued to try and try and try and try and try and try until finally, 3.5 years later, since the moment I began my online journey, I made my first commission check of $124.37 from ClickBank. Now, this was a huge win for me, to a point where I felt finally I broke the ice. I got my first commission check. From now on, I'm building momentum, so I'm just gonna take off, right? Well, I believed in it so much. I believed in this premise so much that I quit my day job And this is not me, right? This is I didn't own a Lamborghini or anything like that, but I went to my boss and I said, hey, Jonathan, I quit. I don't need this anymore. I didn't give him any upfront notice, nothing. I just walked out. And for the next 6 months or so, I've doubled down on everything I've done before: Twitter, Facebook, blogging, YouTube, everything. And the reason I did that is because I had no idea where the sales came from. I just didn't know. I mean, I wish I knew, but I didn't. So I figured, okay, I have to do everything. So I did. And after 6 months, I haven't made a single sale. I didn't generate any commissions, nothing. So I had to drag my ass back to my boss and beg Jonathan to give me my job back, which was one of the most humiliating things I've ever done, because this guy, he wasn't, he was playing favorites all the time. He would always put me on the Saturday morning shift, supposedly because I didn't have a family, right? So he would like play favorites with other people. He would always give me the crappiest work, like going and cleaning some toilet that hasn't been cleaned for 3 years with lots of crap in it. I mean, he would just, really ride me. And I hated the guy. But the problem is, I lived in a town that was like 20,000 people big, and the only jobs we could get was at the Dead Sea Resort that was about 20 minutes away, 30 minutes away. So I couldn't argue. I needed the money. However, I pretty much vowed at that point that, look, I'm not going to go back to free traffic. That's for sure. I'm going to try something different, and I'm going to move into paid traffic. And for that, I got another job as an overnight security at a chemical production plant in our town, which opened up right around that time. And I went in. So it's only overnight, right? It's you couldn't work during the day, only during the night. So I worked during the day in the hotel, and then I would work during the night at this chemical facility. Sometimes I would catch a few hours of sleep, but for the most part, I just went on pure, coffee and passion for not wanting to be poor. That was really the big driver. And I started driving paid traffic. And very quickly, and tell me if you had this experience, very quickly my money started evaporating. Pretty much, I mean, it felt like I was flushing my money down the drain, because it was just disappearing so fast anytime I would run ads. And I couldn't make any of my ads profitable. I would always be losing money, and I would be losing that money fast. I would then have to sit for like 3.5 weeks not being able to drive any traffic until I got paid, until, and so I would try the same thing again, and the cycle would continue. Well, would you like to know what was I missing to make this paid traffic work? Type yes, no in the chat. Okay, I'll tell you. So I applied one tweak to all of my paid traffic campaigns, and as a result, it changed everything. In fact, you can see here in 2010, in December, October 2010, I made $1,000 in a single month with ClickBank. That was like a lot. That's 10 times the size of the check I received previously. But what's most importantly, that's more money than I would make at my hotel job, because that job paid in shekels. I lived in Israel, so it's like paid in shekels, and the exchange rate was horrible. So seeing $1,000 to me is like $1,000,000, and I was ecstatic. In fact, this tweak I kept at it over the years, and it resulted in me becoming one of the highest earning super affiliates, and allowing me to make as much as $13,000 in a single day, run promotions that make me $24,000, $45,000, $49,000, even ranked second on JVZoo for promoting other people's products. I can easily make $200,000 in 30 days. And it's all thanks to my ability to buy tons of traffic and know that I will make it pay for itself. In fact, here's 1 month I scaled it to almost 1 million unique visitors per month, and it's all thanks to this one tweak. Okay, I'm able to pay for the traffic once and then use it again and again for free until I convert it into sales. And again, all this does for me is it puts me in a position where I can generate lots of traffic every single day on demand. I pay for some of it, some of it is free, but point being is that I get traffic as a result of this one tweak. Okay, and so this is what I want to share with you. I want to share with you how to do it and how to generate this traffic. But first, I want to say this is not what you think, because if you've been following a bunch of gurus out there who teach traffic, the so-called traffic experts who actually never preach what they teach, never actually do what they teach, never walk the talk, so to speak, you've probably been told that Facebook ads is the go-to traffic source. Well, Facebook ads is not the go-to traffic source. In fact, I recommend you stay away from Facebook ads for a couple of reasons. First one being is that the majority niches in Facebook ads are now so saturated that the cost is unbearable, and most people, most businesses cannot bear the cost of the traffic, because the newsfeed is getting more competitive every single day, and the more competitive it becomes, guess what happens? The bidding system only puts those who pay the most on top. So you're now competing against tons of people, and you're paying out the nose for the same traffic you could have gotten for half the price a year ago. And it's crazy, and it's only going to get worse. Another issue with Facebook is that they ban, right? There's like a big problem because Facebook bans your account and they never tell you why. And so if you're marketing anything that's even remotely sensitive to any sort of regulation, supplements, make my online stuff. If you do Bitcoin, you can't even get close. Financial stuff, weight loss stuff, anything, dating, you just can't. The only people I think who are safe to advertise on Facebook are like people who sell t-shirts. That's pretty much it. Everybody else is just going to get banned sooner or later. In fact, for no reason. Again, I got friends who've been running Facebook ads for like years and years and years, and they say that one of the biggest secrets to their success is being able to warm up new accounts and reset their ads quickly when their ad accounts get banned. Can you believe that? So their business actually requires them to buy Facebook accounts and warm them up, and so they can run ads, getting new credit cards, etc. My friend who spends about 30,000 a month on Facebook ads got two full-time VAs, and that's what they do. They warm up new accounts, they get virtual credit cards, and they kind of reset the ads. I mean, isn't that dumb? Is that really a way to build a long-term business? No, not for me, for sure. Another issue with Facebook is that if anyone wants to find your ads, especially your competitors, they can easily do it. In fact, Facebook has a transparent ad library, which means if I wanted to go in and find all the ads that Ezra Firestone is running right now, and Ezra is like a Shopify guru, I think, then I could just type in his name, and I could literally see every ad he's running and where he's running the ad. I know that if he's running it on Facebook, or Facebook and Instagram, or just Instagram, or inside Messenger or outside Messenger, I know because Facebook tells me. Now think about it this way. Let's say you actually spend the time and money optimizing an ad on Facebook. Now, how devastated would you feel if all of your competitors or people who promote similar stuff that you promote go in, take your best ad copy, your best image, and completely and easily copy everything you've done just like that? Wouldn't that suck? I mean, it would suck for me because if I had to work hard to optimize the ad, I probably had to write the ad copy, test different images, spend the money, etc. I mean, come on. And Facebook facilitates that. Now, in addition to that, the ads die. The ads on Facebook, as of right now, are dying within 7 days. Now, this is not a hard rule. Some ads will run for a month, but the people that I talk to that I know run Facebook ads all the time, they tell me that they need to upload a new ad, and preferably several ads, every 7 days, because if the ad works, it actually stops working after about a week. It's called ad fatigue is the term, right? And so Facebook ads have an incredibly short lifespan and very, very high ad fatigue. So you can then tell me, okay, Igor, what about AdWords? Well, it's not AdWords either. And here's why. AdWords is really, really expensive. The cost per acquisition on AdWords is ridiculous. And anyone who works on a budget simply can't afford to pay $133.52 per acquisition, no matter what they sell. So paid traffic would be perfect, wouldn't it, if it wasn't so darn expensive? So that is why I will show you two things. First, I will show you how to break even with virtually any traffic source. And second, I will show you a traffic source you should use today. Okay, deal? Tap yes in the chat if it's a deal. Okay, so first, the tweak I applied that allowed me to build a very, very profitable business and drive virtually any form of paid traffic. But again, I'll tell you which traffic source you should be using. That's the best one for you. So this is how I've been taught to drive traffic when I started with my affiliate business. They told me, get a traffic source, get some clicks, send these clicks to an affiliate link, and if somebody buys, you get a conversion, you get a sale, you get a commission, right? Well, here's the problem with this model. The problem is that if you're paying, say, $2 a click, which is a normal, acceptable rate right now for PPC traffic, especially on Google. Google is probably higher, but I'm like, let's assume that's the average for the sake of math. So if you're paying $2 a click, you're getting 1,000 clicks, you're spending 2 grand. So far, so good, right? That's the math. If you're making $50 per sale in commission and your affiliate link converts at 0.5% conversion, which is the average conversion rate according to ClickBank, you can go and Google that, you will get 5 sales at $50. That means $250 in commissions into your pocket, but that means you also lost $1,750. You are upside down on this entire campaign by almost $2,000. So can you scale this way? No, of course not. But if you apply this tweak where you send your traffic to an email capture page, generate an email subscriber, add them to your email list, and only then show them the affiliate link, then you are absolutely staking the game in your favor. Here's why. You're paying same $2 a click. You're getting 1,000 clicks. You're spending the same $2,000 on the ad spend. You get half the people who land on your email capture page to opt into your list, which means you're generating 500 email subscribers. Okay, so you got these people on your list. Immediately, you show them the affiliate offer, and you get the exact same 0.5% conversion simply because the people who originally intended to buy will not be scared off by an email opt-in form. They will proceed and they will buy anyway. So you generate the exact same 5 sales at $50 commission. That's 250 bucks. Now it seems like, okay, I'm still losing 1750, but no, because you've gotten 495 email subscribers that still haven't bought, right? So if you're not building a list, you lost the 1750 and that's it. There's no game after that. However, if you are building a list and you spend $2,000, you made 250 bucks in sales immediately, and then you've got 495 email subscribers that we follow up with for the next 30 days, and we can expect a healthy, decent, average 10% conversion rate from our emails. That means we're making an extra 49 sales. 49 sales at 50 bucks each, that's 2450, which means the total earnings for this campaign is $2,700 in commissions, not even in sales, in commissions. This means you made $700 in profit, and you've got 500 subscribers total, but you also have 446 potential customers, either for this offer or for another offer that you may choose to promote. Does that make sense? So you go from not making money at all, from being upside down, to being profitable and to having an asset you can rely on to make money. Now, here's why I say that. You see, building an email list is the big secret to getting positive ROI in your traffic. Here's why. I'm not even the one saying that. So Neil Patel, somebody asked him, as an affiliate marketer, what's the first thing I should do? His response, build a solid email list. Mike Diller, the author of Magnetic Sponsoring back in the day and the founder of the Self-Made Men Society, as well as MikeDiller.com, says, one of the single most important things you can do to make money online is to build a large email list. If you build a list, the problem of lack of sales disappears once and for all. You can produce cash flow on demand, and ultimately everything you do now and into the future becomes an instant and guaranteed success. Barry Marshall, a best-selling author, says there's all kinds of media and channels, but email is still the center of the marketing universe. It's permission to be inside your customer's personal space. Ryan Deiss, the co-founder of Digital Marketer, says that for every dollar invested in email, they're making $44.25 for a 4.3 thousand% ROI. Another study done by Chris X, a ClickBank super affiliate, shows that over 50% of people who have built a list have actually made more than $5,000 online. At the same time, only 6% of people who never built a list have made anywhere over $5,000 online. So a list is kind of important. My friend Omar Martin says that he made most of his money from list building, and that's how he writes his own paychecks. Russell Brunson says that email marketing is the secret weapon to many affiliates. Anyone here knows Russell Brunson? Do you think he knows what he's talking about? The guy who wrote Traffic Secrets and Marketing Secrets and co-founded ClickFunnels. I think he knows a thing or two about about how this thing works. Justin Atlan and his wife Milana, who I met with in San Diego, they say owning an email list is still the most powerful way to monetize traffic and build a community. These are the people who run ClickBank University, which is the largest affiliate marketing coaching program on ClickBank right now. So is email dead? The answer is no. Email is not dead. Email is still the money media for the internet. It's not going anywhere. People are engaged with email. They prefer to get offers in email. Most importantly, this is where they buy. This is really it. This is where people go to buy stuff. And what I really find funny is that email gets buried and resurrected every now and again. So Wall Street Journal in 2009 says email no longer rules. Email is going to die. Facebook, Twitter, and all these services, they're taking over, right? And then 2019, the hot new channel for reaching real people, email, right? So I mean, all of these news outlets, they have no idea what they're talking about. The fact of the matter is, email is where the money is. In fact, Barack Obama knows this very well. He used email marketing, setting out really simple, really short campaigns to generate $500 million in donations for his presidential campaigns. That's impressive. That's really impressive. Email engagement is superior to social media engagement for one reason and one reason only. Social media is crowded. Social media offers no intent, meaning the people who go on social media, they're not intending to engage with you if you promote something. And also, the algorithms on these platforms are now built in a way where organic reach is diminished on purpose. Organic reach is not something that Facebook wants you to have. They want you to pay to reach people, right? They want you to pay to get people to click on your stuff. So that's why they're deliberately pushing your stuff away from the feed. And if you want for the stuff to appear in the feed, you got to pay up the big bucks. But there's more good news, because email actually gives you customers who spend more often than social media customers and who spend 20 times more money than social media customers. So if you had a choice between somebody who comes into your website, buys 9 times more often, and spends 20 times more money anytime they buy, and somebody who comes in, buys 9 times less often, or spends 20 times less anytime they buy, which customer would you prefer to have? I would take the email customer any day of the week, for the simple fact that I just want to make money in my business and I want to get the most out of everything I've got. As simple as that. And that is why your email list is the asset that you're missing right now to make everything work, to make everything stick. It's your own free warm traffic source that you can use on demand. It appreciates over time because the relationship you generate with your list does not necessarily disappear anywhere. It's actually getting better over time. You get leverage, and from leverage comes freedom. You got the relationship with your list, which means the traffic is not just cold and sort of lukewarm. It's actually hot traffic, because these people know you, like you, trust you, and you get control over your business. Because even if you get banned from like Facebook ads or whatever, you still have your list, and no one can take that away. One time I actually got suspended from Aweber, where I've had 100,000 person email list. Guess what happened? In 2 days, I was up and running with the same list on a different software. All I had to do is prove to them that I own the list, and that's it. They put it up on their software, and I started mailing again. There's nobody and nothing that can take over your list. It's yours, and it's yours alone. That's a true asset that you're building that you can pass along, okay, that actually produces money. So in many ways, having an email list is kind of like owning a real estate property. But with a real estate property, while you can generate passive income and it does grow in equity without you having to do anything if you invest it correctly, you're still facing some problems like tenants, for example, who, for example, don't want to pay up. I know a guy who actually didn't pay rent for 8 months, and the landlord still can't evict him, and the guy just keeps living there. You got investment capital, right? So you got to either go find private hard money investors, hard money loans, or you got to go and then talk to the bank and get a mortgage. You're also limited by the market conditions, meaning that if you wanted to cash out, you really like couldn't unless the market conditions are perfect. Because if your house price is low based on the market value, then you're not going to cash out right now. So in addition, there's crashes, right? Every 10 years or so, there's a real estate crash. And you also, again, need to sell it to see any money. I know people who own real estate who are pretty much cash broke, and they can't pull the money out because the bank won't let them refinance, and because they can't sell the property at the price they want. In fact, I know a guy who invested in a 1.7 million home, and the home is now worth 1.4 because the market went down. So the guy's just basically, he can't really get that money, even though he's technically a millionaire. Now, it doesn't happen with the list. With the list, you get passive income, your income growth over time because your list grows. You got minimum time investment required to mine the list. You got minimum investment required. Compared to real estate, this is nothing, right? This is peanuts. You can get started with very little money. You don't need tenants. You don't need anyone. You don't need lawyers. You don't need real estate agents. You don't need nothing, no bureaucracy. And you can cash out every day by promoting stuff. This is what I do. I send emails and I make money. I promote something and I make money. Here's me making $74,000 in commissions in just 7 days, $32,000 in commissions just 7 days. I can promote my own stuff, right? I can promote my own stuff and make $10,000, $11,000, $6,000, $9,700, $11,200 in a single day. It doesn't matter. As long as I mail something, I will make money. Now, the other good news about list building is that it actually grows over time. So my income tripled between 2012 and 2016. Now, what does that mean? How do you think that happened? Did I work 3 times more hours, or did I did I like revolutionize productivity and found a way to squeeze in 3 times more effort into the same hours? What do you think I was able to enjoy going from $600,000 a year to 1.7 million? I'll give you a hint. It had nothing to do with me working harder. Okay, you guys are getting it. So the reason I doubled my income between 2012 and 2016 is because simply my list grew in size. My list tripled. The work was the same. Sending emails to my list, pretty much working the same hours. And it just continues and continues to grow. Okay, subscribers grew and it just continues to grow all the time. So one thing I want to make sure you understand, if you want to break even on paid traffic, you need to put people on your own email list. Is that clear? Give me a quick yes in the chat. Clear or not? Okay, so this is a given. This is not not a suggestion, if you will. You just can't avoid it. You have to do it, period. Okay, good. Now, what's the damn secret traffic source, right? Tell us, Igor. Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, a perfect traffic source is one that's affordable, accessible, easy to use, and scalable. That's really the traffic source that I'm looking for. And unless it fits all these criteria, I'm not going to use it, because I want to build something for the long term that's going to help me make money while I sleep, right? So the one traffic source out of all the traffic sources I've tested, the one traffic source that really fits the bill is called dedicated email drops, also known as email solo ads. And here's what they are exactly. It's you asking someone with a big email list of targeted prospects to email your offer to their list for a reasonable one-time fee. You can either pay for 1,000 emails sent, or you can even pay per click. Now, this is very different from buying an email list or buying email records. This is 100% legal, 100% compliant with CAN-SPAM and GDPR. And what it does, it sends you an instant flood of traffic, plus gives you credibility. Because remember, if you ask someone else to mail that offer for you, it's coming from them to their email subscribers who already like them and trust them. So you get that credibility that they have with their audience automatically. And that makes it the whole job of conversions much easier. Plus, what's the best type of person that you would like to have on your email list so they could open and click on your emails? Well, it's somebody who preferably bought something in the past and who also already subscribes to email lists and opens them, right? So that's why you're quite literally taking the absolute best people you can possibly have, and you're taking a shortcut and getting in front of them for very little money. I'll explain to you what I mean by very little money. You do need a budget for this, but I'll explain it to you in a sec. So here's an example. Mike Geary, he runs a nutrition watchdog e-zine. It's like a newsletter where he gives all kinds of tips about what you should eat and what you shouldn't eat for health. So here's an example. He sends out an email and says, Jack Taylor has a really good special message for you today. Keep reading, Mike. And the whole message is a 4-line email telling people to go watch a video about water. Isn't that crazy? Here's another example. Newsmax is sending out an email saying, Dear Newsmax reader, please find below a message from our advertising sponsor, Survival Life. Our email report is free service for you with the help of our sponsors. The products, views, and offerings made by advertisers are not necessarily endorsed by Newsmax.com. Here you go. So what happens here is the newsletter owner simply sends out the message that the advertiser wants, making their readers aware that, hey guys, you're reading this free newsletter, if it's a free newsletter, and one of the ways we monetize it is by sending you promotions, so check it out. So there's intent. No one's hiding the fact there's something on sale. No one's hiding the fact that we're promoting a product. There's intent. So you're getting the best people who open and click with intent, and you're paying peanuts relatively to what you would otherwise be paying if you generated leads through social media and AdWords. Another example of a business newsletter where Anthony Morrison advertises to Daily Insider Secret, and then a guy by the name of Eric Sue does the same for a different offer. With I think the span in between was about a week or 2 weeks. So it's happening. It's out there. You just have to pay attention. This is one of the best ways you can possibly use to generate quality, targeted people that will buy stuff. Because first and foremost, the owners of those newsletters have already done the hard work. They've generated the leads. Now, out of the pool of the leads they generated, you're generating the cream of the crop. And the beautiful part about this is that you get them on the cheap, because the newsletter owners typically do not know how to properly price it, because there's no standard for this. So a lot of these newsletters, they will let you have access to their audiences very, very, very affordably. So there's 3 steps we must take. First, we need to locate content publisher who's actively building an email list, who's also actively seeking advertising partnerships. Then we need to pay them a one-time fee to endorse you to their email subscribers. And then we provide a landing page with an opt-in form to build our own email list. So step 1, find a content publisher that builds a list. We found one. It's called Advanced Bionutritionals. They sell supplements. So they're giving away this free report, and they're getting you on the newsletter. Cool. Then we contact them and ask them to promote something, and then we promote. Here's Advanced Bionutritionals emailing their subscriber list. I know because I'm on the list, saying, please see below an important message from our friends at Scott Mumby Wellness. They have some important information to share with you. How about that? See, it wasn't too hard, was it? It just requires for you to pay attention. I even use this technique to recruit 420 affiliates to our in-house affiliate program. I reached out to somebody who I know has an audience of affiliates. They gave me their price, which is 50 cents per email with $1,000 minimum. They gave me the demographics, all kinds of results I can expect, what sort of subject lines work best and stuff like that. And I mailed. I gave them my landing page with where I would collect first name, last name, email address, phone number, etc., and generated 420 entries into our affiliate program. Now, just to understand, an average affiliate program has about 20 affiliates in our industry. So this is like beyond what anyone was able to achieve. And it happened in like 2 days because they sent out an email, and over the course of 2 days, we had these people come in. And just on a dare, use this technique to build a brand new 47,291 person email list in just 60 days. As you can see on the right there, adding anywhere between 1,000 and 2,000 people to the list every single day. Now, here's 6 secrets that you want to write down that will help you get the most bang for your advertising buck with email solo ads. First, you should never accept the first offer they give you. Always haggle, always negotiate, but be reasonable. Okay, don't be a dick about it. Be reasonable. Don't be impolite. Just kind of see, is this the best offer you can do? Can you do, I'm short on, my budget is small. What can we work out? You can also ask for a first buyer discount, which is a very popular way to lower your initial investment. You can ask for a partial drop in case they're trying to sell you, say, a 10,000 email drop for say $1,000, and you're like, well, I only have 500. Can we do a drop to half the list? A lot of them can easily do it. Segmenting the list is very easily done using today's software, so they can easily do a partial drop for you. You can also ask for a bulk discount if you're willing to commit to several drops ahead of time. And you can also ask for a combo deal because sometimes these newsletters come out in the form of like articles, and in between the articles, they will also place ads. So you can ask, can I do a dedicated email drop? And for the next 2 weeks, can you place my text ad inside each email? So you can do that, and therefore you can basically get more for the same price. Okay. And of course, goes without saying, if you really want to get the best deal, if you really want to have the most leverage, pick up the phone and call them and try to generate a human-to-human connection with someone who works there. It could either be the actual newsletter owner or somebody who owns for the company who owns the newsletter. Even if it means you calling their customer support number and kind of expressing your desire to a customer support person, and for them to pass your request to somebody who can make a decision. Point being is that you will get the best deal if you talk to them on the phone. So this is really the process. You send an email solo ad to your own capture page to generate those email subscribers, and then you follow up every day. Now, at this point, I always get a question, and that is, Igor, well, how do I know I'll make money? How many sales can I expect? How can I recoup my ad spend? Well, the key is to now focus on the people who are on the fence, right? Is to focus to get these people off the fence. But the problem is that a lot of people expect that for some reason those people who are on the fence will kind of just get off the fence themselves. So they never, ever follow up. And that's a big mistake. That's a huge mistake. In fact, what I've found out is that a lot of times the good prospects, people who are willing to spend money with you, will take their time before they commit to you. And for that, you need to follow up every single day. And as you can see from the screenshot, I practice what I preach. I email my list every day, sometimes twice a day, for that very reason. Because people aren't going to jump off the fence on their own. They need you to email them. And as a result, I run 7-day promotions, sometimes longer. So in this case, I generate 17,000 commissions in 7 days, 22,000 commissions in 7 days, 65,000 commissions in 7 days, 43,000 in commission 7 days. Basically, as a result of mailing my list all the time, sending emails all the time, making money online becomes very easy because I now have a push button traffic source that's continuously sending people to different offers. right? So what this means to you is that you can start and scale traffic really fast from scratch. You can build a large email list fast. You can get the cheapest way to get high quality traffic. It's completely automated without ongoing work. You can easily scale the best newsletters once you find them, and you can also make sales on autopilot. You can start on a budget, and you can start really quickly as soon as today and make long-term profits from your email list. Now, your Rolodex that I promised you at the beginning of this call, I will give it to you at the end of the call. What I would like to do now is sum up what we've covered. So first and foremost, we covered that free traffic sucks and paid traffic rules. Is everyone clear on that? Give me a yes in the chat. Um, are you clear that free traffic is a waste of time, that it's not actually free, it always costs money in one way, shape, or form or another, and that you should not be wasting your time on free traffic, even if you think that you can't afford paid traffic right now? Okay. Another thing, are we clear that the best way to guarantee ROI on your traffic is to build a list? Give me a yes in the chat. Are we clear that if you want to make money online, no matter what you're promoting or selling, you need to put people on email list and you need to email those people? Awesome. Give me a yes if you understand that Facebook isn't even in the top 3 best traffic sources anymore. That the idea that Facebook ads or social media traffic is a good traffic source is an outdated idea. Good. Yes in the chat if you understand that having an email list is not the same as having a social media follower list, meaning that 1,000 email addresses on your list is better than having 1,000 followers on Instagram. Great. And give me yes in the chat if you see and understand how you can use email drops to start getting leads as soon as today to generate thousands of targeted visitors every single day. Give me a yes in the chat. Perfect. Now, due to some time constraints, here are some of the things that I haven't covered. What questions should you ask before buying an email solo from a publisher? How to build a capture page to collect email addresses when you run an email solo ad. How to use an email autoresponder to store the email addresses you're collecting. How to track your results. How to connect your capture page to your email autoresponder software. How to write your follow-up emails to your email subscribers to convert them into customers. How to automate the entire process. How to select offers to promote to your email subscribers, and what to do if your email solo ad totally bombs, and more. Now, coming to this training, I really had just 2 options. I could have taught you what I taught you today in the hour we've had together. And I'm pretty good at this stuff, probably one of the best in the world. So, if I was able to cram this much in 1 hour, that's pretty much what you get. So I could teach you what I taught you, and then I had 2 choices. I could either offer you a course or a program where I would teach you the details of everything I taught you on the webinar, which is something you've probably seen before, where somebody comes out and they're like, "Oh, buy my $2,000 course. I'll coach you, I'll teach you, I'll give you my my guidance, we'll get on calls, etc." Or another option, I could do it for you. Now, this is very unique, so hear me out. What if I actually did it for you? What if I told you what niche you should go into? What if I got you approved for affiliate offers that pay big commissions? What if I built your capture page for you to collect emails? What if I set up your email autoresponder to store and mail your subscribers? What if I wrote an email follow-up sequence to follow up with your email subscribers? What if I connected your email autoresponder to your capture page? What if I set up your tracking? What if I use my contacts to run your email drops for you? And even guaranteed email subscribers to on your email list. How about that? What if I did all of that for you? In other words, give me a yes, no in the chat. Would you like me to build you a 10,000 person email list while you sit back and do nothing? Yes or no? Okay, well, sounds like an overwhelming yes. Okay, perfect. So let me tell you more about that. It's a 5-step process that I follow. Step 1, I build you a list building funnel. That's where it all starts, because that's where you got to send traffic to actually generate people on your list. Includes a capture page and everything. So I build that funnel, I put it together, I optimize it before I start driving traffic. Then I connect your funnel to your email autoresponder, which I also set up for you. So you basically sign up for the autoresponder I tell you to sign up to, give me the login details, and I set everything up for you. I also set up your follow-up sequence. I go out and I buy traffic from my trusted sources. And then once it's all done and we're in progress, I actually coach you how to monetize your email list for the next 12 months. That's the process. Now, probably wondering, okay, I get the process, but why not do it myself? Well, here's why not to do it yourself. You could choose to do so, but here's my experience. Most people, I'm not saying you will, but most people screw it up when they do it themselves. And I'm pretty sure you will make mistakes, right? I'm not saying you will totally screw it up, but I'm pretty sure you will make mistakes that will cost you time and money. Another reason is because there's a learning curve to list building, right? That you still have to go through. And because I buy email drops in bulk and I get way better rates and I can do it cheaper than you. And because I got it down to a predictable science, a system, if you will. So I don't need guesswork, etc. I got it down to protocols and checklists, and I'm not trying to figure it out anymore. I know how to do it in a predictable way, right? I know the tricks and the hacks to lower the cost per conversion and maximize results. And because building a list is 50%, like that's like half of the effort. The other one is, okay, now let's monetize it. And that's really the part where I want you to focus once I start building your list for you. And let's face it, some people just prefer to have it done for them, at least for the first time. I know that that's the case for me, right? So if somebody told me, go organize your own wedding, or go and do your own surgery or something, you know what I mean? Like a lot of this stuff just doesn't make sense to me. And this is complicated stuff for a lot of people. Like for some of you, the Elon Musks among you that can figure out technical stuff quite easily may not be rocket science. But there's also a lot of people out there for whom this is rocket science, and this is for them, for these people. Now, other people, they just don't want to do it themselves because they don't trust themselves to do a good job. You understand? In other words, they can fathom the possibility of doing it themselves, but they can also imagine exactly how they will screw it up and regret not getting help before. So in other words, if if the stakes were high, which they are, like, and you were, for example, just imagine you were prosecuted tomorrow for manslaughter, looking at 20 years in prison. When the stakes are that high, would you protect yourself in court? Just type in yes, no in the chat. Would you like risk it and be your own lawyer? I would not. I wouldn't be my own lawyer because that would be way too risky. I would much rather hire somebody with experience, connection, somebody who knows how to talk to judges and prosecutors, etc. Right? Now at this point, there's two groups of people. You're probably in one of those groups. The first group is the skeptics, and these are the people who basically say, and I'm not sure why they attend webinars, by the way, but they say anyone who wants to help me make money online is a scammer. Period. And if that's you, then the rest of this webinar is not for you. I mean, there's just no value for you for the remainder of this call, because I'm not going to convince you or anything like that. There's really no point, and I'm not interested in that. I don't need that. Now, the other group are action takers, people who just want to get going right away. And so basically for those people, my question is, would you like for me to build you a 10,000 person email list and get going right away? So if you're an action taker, if you qualify yourself as an action taker, give me a yes, no in the chat. Okay, perfect. Lots of yeses. So for you guys, I want to answer a question. Many of you, I'm sure, are probably thinking, yeah, well, if it's a done for you service where you're doing so much for us, probably going to charge us an arm and a leg. Well, you'd be right to assume that I'm expensive, because people pay me $3,000 an hour just to consult with me. And yes, this is actual money I get in my account. For example, here's somebody wired me $6.4 thousand, $6,000, $20,000, $10,000, $14,000, and a bunch of other payments for all kinds of different consulting, private work, etc. However, I also understand you're probably working on a budget, because the reason you need a list is because you don't have a lot of money coming in. Rich people, people who made a ton of money with businesses or investments or otherwise were born into wealth, they wouldn't attend a webinar like this because they don't have the need, the desire, and the passion to become self-made, right? So I know you have a budget requirement, and I'm a reasonable man. I understand that, and this has to work for both of us. And therefore, I've decided to price this on a pay per lead basis plus a management fee on top, which means based on the package you want to grab with me, meaning how many leads you'd like for me to generate on your list, that will determine how much you pay per every lead and the management fee that comes with it. The bigger the package, of course, the lower you're paying per lead plus management fee. So that is why you should know there's three packages. Okay, there's the big dog package with a big amount of leads, there's a medium package, and there's a small package. The pricing varies a little bit on a pay per lead basis in between the three. And the thing is that I don't know which one is perfect for you, just based on your experience level, ability to step outside your comfort zone, desire to succeed, ambition, etc. So that is why, since I don't know you, we need to talk. Now, another reason we need to talk is because I don't want to work with people who are a pain in the ass. And I really mean it. At this point in my life, I am blessed not having to work with people who are a pain in the ass. Therefore, I have to make sure you're not a pain in the ass. And, besides that, you have to make sure that I'm a good fit for you probably as well. Maybe you have some questions about the program. So that is why a phone conversation is required. So listen up, because this is really important. Once I give you a link to schedule a phone conversation in a second, I expect a stampede. Okay, now you should know that I can only do this for 12 people at any given time, meaning I can't take on like 100 people on board into this program. I can only do this for 12 people at a time, because there's work involved, lots of work involved in setting everything up for you. And I just can't take more than 12. That's my capacity. I kind of learned that from experience. So if you want to be one of these 12 people, when I share the link, you should go to the link and you should book your call. Okay, you should book your appointment. That's really important you understand that. This is not some bullshit scarcity or whatever. This is like for real. And I really mean it. Okay, I know you're probably used to seeing timers that don't do anything and etc., but it's just the work, it's just the reality of the work it takes to build someone else's list. And for that reason, I'm also going to place another barrier, and that is a refundable safety deposit of $100. The purpose of this deposit is to scare away the tire kickers, because internet is full of tire kickers. It made it very easy for tire kickers to get into my life. And social media didn't help, by the way. So I don't want to waste my time on tire kickers. I know it sounds harsh, but the truth of the matter is there are just too many of them. And if I give an hour of my time or an hour of my team's time to a tire kicker, that's an hour we don't give to somebody who deserves the time and deserves the effort and basically needs our help more. So that is why you're submitting a refundable safety deposit of $100, and it's a refundable deposit for real, meaning you do get this deposit back. So let me explain how this works. You submit the refundable deposit with your application, you schedule the call, and three things will happen. First, we will find out if it's a good fit for you and us, okay? Second, you'll know more about the program. And third, you'll be able to make a decision whether or not you want to join the program. And if you want to join the program, perfect. We'll hog it out. We'll get you going. We'll start building your list. If you don't want to join the program and you just say no, then we part ways, united mutual respect, and you get your deposit back. Very, very simple. In case you do want to be a part of the program, of course, we apply the deposit towards the fee. And just for my way of saying thanks for attending the call, for for taking the call, I'll also give you a case study I created where I show you how I generated $98,000 in 7 days in affiliate commissions using a simple 3-step email campaign you can swipe. All right. Now, I want to stress this one more time. There's no commitment and no pressure. There's not going to be any hard selling or otherwise any pressure for you to agree or do whatever, right? This is pure discovery stuff. And the purpose of this call is to really get to know each other and to arrive at a yes or a no. In other words, whether you join the program, whether you don't join the program, when we talk, what's important is there's discovery, there's a discussion, and then you get to be the decision maker. No hard selling. If you feel you're being hard sold at any time, you have my permission to hang up the phone, email us and say, give me my money back, give me my deposit back, or just be polite and say, hey, I feel I'm being pressured, or whatever, right? So is that a deal? Give me a yes in the chat if you understand what's going on. If you understand that this is a refundable $100 safety deposit alongside your application, and then we get on the call. And on this call, you will answer questions, then you will be able to ask questions, and then you'll be able to make an educated, intelligent decision about whether you want to be a part of this program or not. And as long as you're one of the first 12 people, you will be able to join. Give me a yes in the chat if you understand. Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. So the link to go to is igor.cx/yes. So what you need to do, you need to open a new tab in your browser, like Google Chrome or Internet Explorer or something, and type in igor.cx/yes. Go to that web page and you'll see an application form that you'll need to fill out. You'll need to then submit a refundable $100 deposit. And once you do, you'll get to a page where you'll be able to pencil yourself into the calendar for a time and date that works for you, where you will set up a call between yourself and me, or if my schedule is slammed, between yourself and a member of my team. Now, we will be getting together on Zoom. You'll get a link automatically to your email containing Zoom link. Does everyone understand what Zoom is? Give me a yes in the chat. I'm sure if you have a job and you work remotely, you already know what Zoom is. Zoom is kind of like video conferencing, right? So just very easy to use video conferencing software. Okay, most of you understand what it is. Perfect. So you get a Zoom link and then you get on Zoom at the scheduled time and date. We have a conversation and then that's it. You make a decision. Now, I want to remind you that you don't have much time because I can only do this for 12 people. So you have the link there. Go to the link and go submit your application right now. And again, the purpose of the deposit is quite simply to scare the tire kickers away, because what I found out is 100 bucks is literally enough to scare 99% of all tire kickers out there. And the purpose of this conversation is to get a yes or a no, both from myself and my team, as well as you, right? So I get to say yes whether I want you in the program. You get to say yes whether you want to be in the program. If one of us says no, it's a no-go. If both of us say yes, we proceed. Okay? So go ahead and schedule your time. Go ahead and submit your application right now, because I don't leave too many spots on the calendar. It gets booked up very, very quickly, because in between my business, my family, my health, business is third. Okay, first it's my family, then it's my health, then it's my business. So I only leave so many open slots throughout the month to be able to do a consult, to be able to do a call with somebody. So if you want to get in, and want to get in right now. And the reason I want to get in is because, just like Paul, for example, if you've had some bad experience in the past where you maybe worked with some coaches who disappointed you, right? This could be different for you, because Paul, when he started with me, he was really skeptical. In fact, he came in as a customer in another business I've got, and he kind of converted, if you will, into a coaching student. Now, this is before I started this program where I do it for you. He is actually a coaching student, and he got to a point where he's making $10,000 per month in affiliate commissions, okay? as a result of going through this exact same process. Justin Spencer, a guy who was failing miserably with affiliate marketing, came in after just 3 months, started making $8,000 per month, and 6 months since then cleared $15,000 in profit. Okay, not revenue, profit. And this guy, it was waiting tables when he started with me. David Deco, he's got an amazing story. So he used to sell smartphones for Rogers, a Canadian telecommunications company, kind of like AT&T, Verizon, etc. And he was making minimum wage. It was a commission job, so if he sold lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of smartphones, he would make something like $4,000 Canadian, which is in contrast to what he started making. In fact, in 90 days, he got to a point where he made $16,837.25 with list building, and he actually is now making well over $100,000 per month as a result of learning this process and doing it for himself. Mike Marino from New Brunswick. He's a nursing student from New Brunswick, and he was failing with affiliate marketing for a couple of years, and now he's got a small list of 1,000 people, and he's making. He actually achieved a milestone several weeks ago where he made $500 in a single day. US, by the way, and with the exchange rate between Canada and US, that's pretty good money. Ottilia, she's a nurse, and she says, Igor showed me how to have a real lifestyle business that's making money even when I'm away. I was flying to Europe to visit my family. I think her family's in Romania. I had to switch planes in Paris and had a few hours to kill. Decided to check my earnings, and lo and behold, I made $600 while watching movies on the plane. Isn't that nice? Thank you, Igor. Lenin Govea from Ecuador says, in just a couple of months of working with Igor, again, I coached him. I didn't do it for him. I actually coached him. Just a couple of months of working with Igor, I've built a 7,000 person email list and an income of $8,000 per month. Now, if you're wondering what do all of my students have in common, there is one thing that sort of encompasses everybody who I worked with who succeeded. And that is not their sex, their income, their profession, or their intelligence. Actually, none of those things, because I've coached people who are retirees and people who were salesmen and saleswomen, doctors, physicians, surgeons, mechanics. I mean, pretty much from every walk of life. And what really defines a successful student is this. I want you to meet Igor Finkel. His name is also Igor. He's from Philadelphia. And Igor used to own an ambulance business that got hit under the Obamacare Act. Okay, so he had to take on a paramedic job just to pay the bills while he was under investigation there. And while he was moving a patient, he hurt his back and he had to go and get a surgery, taking a huge risk of never walking again. The surgery was a success, but he was looking at about 4 months of recovery at home. So in other words, he was in no position financially or even mentally to afford my outrageous coaching fee, which I charged him, which is $8,000. And if anything, he had all the reasons and all the excuses not to take action. Now he submitted a coaching application and we spoke on video chat, and his wife Alina was on the call with us as well. When I told them how much it cost, it was obvious. It was just obvious they could not afford what I was offering them. And at the same time, it was clear that if anyone needed help, it was them. So Igor actually went to another room. They had to consult with each other, came back alone, and fought me tooth and nail to give him a payment plan, which I did. I think I gave him the most generous payment plan I've ever offered to anyone. Okay. Now, the results, a few months later, he made $73,950.50 in a quarter, which means 3 months. Okay, so what does that mean as far as what do all my successful students have in common? Well, decisiveness and ability to step outside your comfort zone. That's really the only thing, because I've coached people who couldn't afford my stuff. I coached people that aren't supposed to succeed with it because they were quote unquote unintelligent or not intelligent enough. I've coached people who don't have college degrees, people who have college degrees. I coach people who were stay-at-home dads or stay-at-home moms. I myself am not educated. I don't have a degree. Okay, I don't have a degree in marketing. I don't have an MBA. But a lot of this stuff, all that requires is for your ability to step outside your comfort zone. That's where the rubber meets the road. And the funny thing is that later Igor admitted to me that his wife Alina did not want to get in because she felt it was all a scam. That's why she didn't come back into the room when I made them an offer. But he actually convinced her to give it a shot. And what's interesting is that we're friends now. Like this is Elena, Igor, me, and my wife Anastasia meeting in Israel. But you know, Igor actually acted at a time and a place when his wife said no, 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 this is a scam. He's one of those Russian scammers or whatever, right? So this kind of gives you a clue. Being decisive, being able to take a leap of faith is the key difference between entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs, between people who don't succeed and people who succeed. I'm not saying people who succeed don't make mistakes. Of course they do. But people who succeed make an effort, take the shot, take a step. And another, I guess, belief that may come in the way of that definitely exists for anyone who cares about their family, is if you invest in yourself and your dream, you're basically being selfish. You're basically being a bad person. Well, let me tell you something. At one point, before I succeeded with my business, but was already working on my business, my mom approached me and asked for to chip in on the bills. She asked for about $500 to put towards the bills, and she said, "Well, Dad hasn't worked this month, and we just need the money." Now, $500 at the time is a lot of money for me. It's like something I have to save up for a few months, and I've been saving up for this Lenovo laptop that costs $1,200. Now, being a good Jewish boy that I am, I said, Mom, let me go, let me sleep on it, let me think about it, and I'll let you know. So the next morning, I told my mom that I'm not going to give her the money. She was obviously upset. I don't know why I did it. Deep down inside, I knew it was the right thing to do, but of course, it felt like crap. I went out, I got the Lenovo laptop I needed, and eventually, this led to me making my first ClickBank check that I told you about. Now, the thing about it, though, is that it's been a few years, right, in between when that happened and in between when I succeeded. And, I had all the reasons I had all the reasons to say, hey, mom, here's the $500 you need, and not get the laptop that I needed to build my business. But that would be a mistake. Here's why. Because several years later, because I succeeded on the internet, I bought my mom an apartment. So she does not have to worry about rent for the rest of her life. Now, I'm not making this up because only my mother would paint her walls pink. Okay? You can't make this stuff up. Nobody would believe you. So I actually bought her an apartment so she doesn't have to worry about rent ever again. So in many ways, I've put my own oxygen mask first before I helped my loved one. And here's just a short list of the things that I've done since I succeeded that explain to you why you need to be quote unquote selfish in the early stages of your business. I bought my mom a $150,000 condo in cash. I bought my dad two cars. I paid off my parents' $78,000 loan and all the credit card debt with interest, okay, that they've racked up over the years since I was a teenager. I put my daughter into a private school. I moved my family to Canada, creating generational impact on my bloodline. I hired a nanny and a housekeeper to help around the house to preserve quality of life and passion in my marriage. I bought an investment property without a mortgage that my kids will inherit debt free. I paid off my brother's debt, plus gave him a stable source of income for 5 years. I raised people in my hometown in Israel by creating jobs, and I paid off my mother in law's dental work she couldn't otherwise do because she does not have insurance. Now, do you think I'd be able to do any of this stuff if I wasn't selfish in the beginning? I wouldn't be. I simply wouldn't be able to. I had to be selfish so later I can be generous. I had to be selfish at first so later I can help them because I can't help anyone if I'm broke. Make sense? Good. So my selfishness made the lives of the people around me better. And at the same time, you can even say refusing to be selfish would have meant condemning my loved ones to poverty because they weren't going to be rich and they were hoping that I would bail them. So they really had no hope. I don't know about your family. My family had no one, no hope besides me. That's why you want to build a list because your list is multiple streams of income. You can promote affiliate products, your own products and services, get coaching and consulting business going. It's basically your own source of traffic. And the way I do it, the way I showed you today how to do it, has the lowest risk and the highest reward you can possibly get when you're building your list because of how targeted the traffic is and how, relative to Facebook and Google, affordable the leads are. Now, I am not saying you cannot do it on your own. Okay? If anything, I am saying you totally can do it on your own. The problem is at what cost and how it's going to work out for you. In other words, in the words of Ron Atkinson, the prediction is it could go either way. So if you were jumping with a parachute, right? If you were skydiving, you'd probably no one would even let you unless you jumped with an instructor attached to you for the first 50 times or something. There's a reason why, because the cost is you will die if you get it wrong, right? So in a very similar way, think about it. You go do it yourself. What results can you expect? Versus what results can you expect if I do it for you and with you? And I want to remind you, by the way, that statistically speaking, the probability of you making money goes up tremendously when you have an email list. It's a statistical probability. And it's not just me saying that, by the way. It's all these people: Neil Patel, Russell Brunson, Mike Diller, Jeff Walker, the launch formula guy, Omar Martin, and dozens and dozens and dozens of other internet marketing gurus. They're all using list building. So Nancy here, a client of mine, actually went from a standing start to a super affiliate with her own list in just 2 months, when she made 30 sales of an affiliate product in 2 weeks, won an affiliate competition, got bumped to a 200% commission, all thanks to the list. Justin, I already mentioned Justin before. Look at him generating 316 email subscribers while making $320 in sales in the same day. And here's another guy, an amazing, amazing story. So KJ Mays from Nottingham, UK. Okay, so this guy is a construction worker, and anytime there's a project, he has to go away for 2 weeks, leaving his wife Megan home with two boys, William and George, that they don't get to see their dad, of course, but what's more important, Megan is alone. Now, are there any mothers on the call right now? Anyone who's a mom or used to be a mom or plans to be a mom? Okay, we got a couple. So as a mother, you know how hard it is to not have your husband or anyone else for that matter to help you out with the kids, especially two boys, right? Because boys are really rowdy. Girls, you can manage girls, but boys are really active. So imagine what it's like for her to be at home alone with the boys for 2 weeks. It's a nightmare. So this guy goes away for 2 weeks at a time to work in construction, comes back, spends a couple of weeks home, goes away for 2 weeks again. So not only he's doing that, but he's doing that like consistently on a very constant basis. It became a part of the life. So he said, you know what, I just don't want to do it anymore. He approached me, he asked me for help, said he's been trying on his own, we couldn't do it. I said, fine. You know what? If you want to work with me privately, it's going to be $8,000. He said, okay, I don't care, but I don't have the whole 8. Can I start with a payment plan? I said, okay, cool. He paid me $2,000. He paid me, I also got him to pay $100 deposit, by the way, because I didn't want to talk to tire kickers at the time either. And he paid me 1900 remaining for the first payment. We got started. I spent a lot of time with him on private chats, Skype calls, and things like that. And he reported results that completely blew me away. In fact, what happened with KJ, not only he quit his day job and he's now working from home, and they had another baby, another boy, by the way, but also KJ put a down payment on a brand new family home that has since then been built using internet money. That's KJ looking all smug on the right. And then on the left there, if you can see, there is Megan, who is checking out the building. So I mean, if there is somebody who changed their own life using list building, that's this guy from scratch completely. And the guy's a construction worker, okay, not a PhD in rocket science. So, and he's not rich. I mean, he's rich now, but he wasn't rich, back then. Again, and if you're wondering, did he pay me the fee? Yeah, he paid me 4 payments of 2 grand, like a champ. The last two, by the way, out of his profits, not out of his pockets. So my question today really is, would you like for me to do for you what I coach KJ to do for himself? Give me a yes in the chat. That's really what I'm talking about here. Doing for you what I coached him to do. Because again, you can do it on your own, but there will be a cost. There will be a cost because for me, the road to success looked like the one on the right. It was twisty, it was confusing. I wanted to quit literally every day. It cost a lot of money, a lot of time. It was a big learning curve. Now I'm grateful to have gone through it and not quit, because now it's really hard to stumble me, or stifle me with something that I don't know. But it definitely wasn't a straight line. Success is a straight line usually to the people who work with people who've gone through the trials and tribulations. And that's what's happening with my students when they apply themselves. So you can do it on your own, but it's going to take you time and money. And money is a replenishable resource, so I'm not as much concerned about that. But what about time? Because you really have 912 months or so to live. And if you lived until 40, this is how much you got left. And if you count the time you'll need to eat, sleep, and take toilet breaks, that's how much time you got left. That's not much time. And if you're over 40, you can do the math. You can see the red squares fill up. So the question is, do you value that time? That's the question. Do you want to go and figure it out on your own, or do you want to take that shortcut? Because you can, like I said, you can figure it out on your own. Not hiding that fact. In fact, I encourage you to try and figure it out on your own. I just know how hard it is. And this is the option that you can take for someone else to do it for you and with you. Because whether we like it or not, the reality is that the vast majority of people will not push outside their comfort zone on their own. They simply won't. It is just human nature to be afraid of stepping outside your comfort zone. It's a survival mechanism. We all have it. You really have to be emotionally messed up in the head sometimes about achieving this to be willing to take this leap of faith in a way, right? On your own. Like when I was going through all of this, like I was emotionally so invested in the outcome that there would not be, a sacrifice I wouldn't make. I was like driven. It's like either I get this done or I die trying. That was the determination that I've had. But most people are not like that. Maybe you're like that, maybe not. But what I can tell you is that you probably know your own behavior patterns, and you can probably tell whether or not you're going to step outside your comfort zone without someone pushing you out and holding you through. And It's best if you do it with some support rather than trying to do it on your own, if you ever try. The worst thing, of course, is for you to not try at all. The worst thing, of course, for you to go out into the world knowing this and not try to build a list. That would be a problem. But if you were to try on your own, you know there's a cost, and I'm offering you a way to shield you from that. Now, here's another great way to illustrate the difference between having a job and having a list. This is my brother, Oleg. He works in a bakery. He manages this bakery, which is which is to say that he works in that bakery full time, and he also happens to manage some other employees, but he's like the main guy there, and the bulk of the workload is on him. Now, here's the key difference in my lifestyle and my brother's lifestyle. He's 41, married plus three, wakes up at 3:30 a.m., leaves home before kids and his wife wake up because he got to open up that bakery, works until about 7 p.m., gets one 60-minute break, makes 5 grand a month, is 50 grand in debt, and has no savings. That's his life. He works really hard and is really broke. Now, I'm 31, married plus two. I wake up at around 7:50, 8 a.m. I have breakfast with my entire family. I work from 9:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. usually from coffee shops or from my home office. I have 3 espresso breaks. I have an espresso machine at home. I'm a bit addicted. And I make $150,000 a month. I got no debt. And I got over $500,000 in savings and assets, which makes me somebody who works smart and is rich. Now, here's why. Because my brother has a job and I have a list. It's a huge difference. Both of these things make money, but the way they do, the way they make money is completely different. If my brother needs more money, he can't work more hours. He cannot. There's not more hours in the day for him to work. He's already maxing it out. If he wants to make more money, he can ask for a raise. Well, guess what? His boss is going to give him a raise for $1 an hour. In fact, a friend of mine here in Canada works in a car wash, like a detailing car wash. And, he recently tried to negotiate a raise with his employer. The employer reluctantly agreed to increase his wage by $1 an hour. What sort of increase is that exactly? $1 an hour, 8 hours a day, is $8 a day times 24 working days. That's an increase of 160, 32, $192, less than $200 of a raise. That's nothing. That is nothing. $192 is something I make passively on ClickBank because somewhere in one of my old emails, I promoted a ClickBank product that pays a $70 commission. I don't work for that. I don't beg anyone for that. That's the difference between having a job and having a list. In the words of Miles Seegers, who says, if it wasn't for you, Igor, I wouldn't be making money online. He actually discovered it for himself. He was a real estate guy who got really hit by the 2008 crash. And that kind of motivated him to move into online marketing. And Miles actually, this photo is taken out of a BMW i8 that he won in an affiliate competition hosted by Chris Record. Anyone here knows who Chris Record is? He's pretty famous in the internet marketing space. So he actually won a competition against somebody who's a huge affiliate, Vic Strazius. He won number one and walked away with, drove away in Chris Record's BMW i8. Why? List, audience, people who know him, like him, and trust him. Same thing for Raymond. Ray is a truck driver from Australia. The guy never made a dime online until he met me. The first thing I've done for him, start driving traffic, building him a list, bam, $214 in commissions in a single day, instantly. 0 to 100, 0 to full speed. Success does not have to take much time. Success is not something that is supposed to take years. You just need the right system. But you also need to be serious. You can't be a wannapreneur. You can't be someone who talks a big talk, talks a big game, and talk, but never actually commits, never takes a risk, never really takes a step forward. Because we all know people like that, don't we? You can't be that. Wannapreneurs simply don't succeed. Entrepreneur, somebody who is willing to take a calculated risk, lose time and money in favor of potentially gaining bigger wealth, bigger money, bigger time freedom. That's who gets rewarded. The entrepreneur, not the wannapreneur. Wannapreneur and entrepreneurs say, they face the same difficulties getting started. They know exactly what it takes. The difference is the entrepreneur actually does it. The entrepreneur is actually taking a step forward. The wannapreneur, never. Never. The wannapreneur just sits on the sidelines, either complains or moves on to the next big idea that he has that will never pan out into a real business. Now, some of you may be concerned about writing emails, right? Give me a yes in the chat if you're concerned about, oh, I'm not a writer. I can't write emails. I want to write novels. I'm not a marketer. I don't want to put myself out there and stuff like that. Give me a yes in the chat if that's you. Okay, so for those of you who are concerned about writing emails, I'll show you something that I'll give you two things that will help you recognize that writing emails is not the kind of writing that you should be afraid of. So two things. First off, when you're promoting products, typically you get emails. In other words, you don't even need to write them yourself. You can just copy and paste them. Here's an example. There's a launch going on, and by Devin Michaels and Chad Nicely. They send you the JV page, the JV tools page, if you will, and on the page, they say, hey, here's the emails, here's the ads. So you check out the page, and they literally tell you what to send. You just copy and paste. Now tell me, can you copy and paste? Can you copy an email into an email box and just paste it? I mean, can you or not? It's very easy. Okay, now that's the one thing. Now, in case you actually do need to write emails, let's say for some reason there's no emails. Here's something I'm going to do for you. It's going to make this whole thing very easy for you, okay? Let's take an example that we want to promote a fat burning supplement, just for the sake of it. So what you could do, you can use one of the many templates that I'm going to give you to create emails. For example, here's two subject line templates. Why you suck at creating result, or number one cause of painful problem. Of course, creating result and painful problem are like blanks, which means you have to replace them with an actual result and actual problem. Again, using the example of a fat burning supplement, here's what you'd write. Why you suck at losing stubborn belly fat, which is the result that somebody may want, and number one cause of stubborn belly fat, which is a painful problem. Okay, was that hard? Give me a yes, no in the chat. Was that hard? It shouldn't be hard. If you're promoting a fat burning supplement, it shouldn't take you too long to figure out that the result people want is to burn belly fat, right? Cool. So what about the email? So here's a template. It's one of the many templates that I give you. Every orange part is where you need to insert like something else, like a benefit or something else. So let me show you how this works. When I work with clients, I see a lot of them struggling with ideal outcome. Okay, so when you replace the ideal outcome with something, it'll look like this. When I work with clients, I see a lot of them struggling with losing stubborn belly fat. Next line. Most people think it's because of common misconception. Now, what is a common misconception when it comes to losing belly fat? Most think it's because of eating lots of unhealthy foods, but that's not true. Common misconception has nothing to do with it. Eating lots of unhealthy foods has nothing to do with it. Next paragraph. The reason people tend to describe epic failure they're afraid of is because describe common misconception or mistake that's actually the cause of their pain. So, the reason people tend to never lose their belly fat is because of hormone deficiency. How do you overcome this challenge? Simple. I recommend using program you promote, right? So whatever the program you promote. So how do you overcome this challenge? Simple. I recommend using Hormone Pro Plus supplement. I just made it up. Why? Because list one or more reasons why it's awesome. Because it regulates the production of the most important fat burning hormones in your body. And then link. That's it. Now tell me, was this hard? Even if you know nothing about hormones and fat and things like that, do you think this is hard, really? It's not hard. It takes like what, 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes at best. Do you think you can manage, working with a template like this? I think you can. I think anyone with a brain can actually do it. If you honestly think you can't handle this, probably shouldn't be trying to make money online because most things are way more complicated than that. Okay? But seriously, having an email list is the source of time freedom online. And I'll show you an example. Let's say you're adding 100 people per day to your list. Okay? You got a list size, you're growing by 100 a day. So you got 100 subscribers on the first day. You take 10 minutes to write an email. You send it out. Conversions 5%. You make 5 sales. Okay? Next day, your list is now 200 subscribers because you're adding 100 a day. So invest the same exact 10 minutes, same exact conversion, 5%, you make 10 sales now. And then you rinse and repeat until on day 30, your list size is now 3,000 people because you keep adding 100 subscribers a day. Same time investment of 10 minutes, but now you're making 150 sales. Now, do you see how the leverage comes from the size of your list? Same amount of time that it takes to write an email to 100 people, it takes to write an email to 3,000 because it's the email autoresponder software that copies and pastes the emails and sends it out to the people. Now, another reason is because we can automate everything. We can actually set the emails to go out automatically triggered. Okay, somebody signs up to the list, send them this email. Then they set up, then the next day, send them this email. Then the next day, send them this email. The next day, send them this email. You can have an unlimited number of emails going out to the people who get on your list. Even if you want to load 1,000 emails for the next 3 years. Do you understand? So, you know that there's this cliche image of somebody on the beach with a laptop. Have you ever seen these? Well, I think that's the dumbest thing ever because that means that that person is working while on the beach. Now, I've done that before. It's very inconvenient. There's lots of sand, moisture. So it's not a place where you even want to bring your laptop. But the people who have true freedom and automation are the people who don't even bring their laptop to the beach because their emails are going out automatically without them having to be there. So anyone here ever read or heard about the 4-hour work week? Give me a yes in the chat. Okay, so a couple. So the 4-hour work week is a book that revolutionized people's idea of what it means to retire and what it means to be efficient. Because the author explained that you could retire young and you could get paid for work that was being done automatically. Okay, the author's name is Tim Ferriss. So this is how you get there. An email list is how you get there, because you don't have to be there physically for the emails to go out. That is how I became, my email list is the reason I became one of the highest earning and highest converting affiliates. And here's world's top marketers actually praising me about that: Michael Cheney, Ron Douglas, Anthony Morrison, John Crestani, Matt Basic, Dean Holland. I promoted all of their programs and killed it. For Dean Holland, I'm now, I believe, third or second highest earning. For John Crestani, I've done a highest earning or highest converting webinar ever. For Michael Cheney, I made $98,000 in one day. Pretty much, not one day, one week. For Ron Douglas, made him 20 grand. For Matt Basak, he says he had the highest converting promo he ran for that particular product. And with Anthony Morrison, he said my audience was the highest converting he ever seen. And it's not a coincidence, my students are making it happen. So Jean-Francois from Quebec, Canada, actually made $15,000 in commissions in 1 month as a result of having a list and mailing that list every day. Look, your list is what allows you to make big money fast. Here's one day when I made 76 payments and received $20,000 in one day. That happens because I emailed the list. It doesn't happen like by accident. It's a strategic, premeditated condition. Plus, consider this: when you retire, and I don't know your age right now, but I'm assuming you're like over 40 years old probably. So when you retire, how are you going to pay the bills? Look at what's going on right now. Retirement is a huge issue. Most retirees do not have enough money to survive. They have to keep working, or they have to make severe cuts to their lifestyle. It's a big problem. It's being written about and reported everywhere. And what about millennials? Millennials that are, they're the future, right? The millennials are broke. Nobody has any savings whatsoever. So if you want to be self-sufficient in retirement, if you don't want to be a burden to your kids, if you don't want to be sinking deeper in debt or making cuts or moving to some, really cheap, low cost of living location, freezing your ass off, then you need to build a source of income. That's what an email list is. 7 out of 10 baby boomers have to work in retirement. They have to. I really hope you understand that it's going to be way too late when you're like 82, right? You need to start early. You need to start now. Now, if you're wondering why am I doing this for you rather than just show you how to do it like, most gurus out there, well, it's because I figured if for example, in the weight loss space, it's a $72 billion market. So if the weight loss space is $72 billion market, how come we are getting more obese every year? Well, because information alone is not enough. If information alone was enough, then we'd all be skinny, rich, having the best sex of our lives, and be basically proficient at every hobby possible. But that's not the case, is it? Tons of equipment, tons of information, tons of supplements, tons of diet information and stuff. Most people are still fat. It's not about the information. Like if I came in on September 1st into a school, into a classroom, let's say it's physics, and you're a student, and I hand you over a textbook and I say, okay, Timmy, this textbook contains everything you need to know, period, about what I'm going to be quizzing you about in 6 months. So here's the book. You just read the book, and I'm going to come back in 6 months and quiz you. And I walk out of the classroom. Do you really think that would work? it would not work. I assure you. Because when people are left to their own devices, it almost never works. You always need a teacher, you always need a guide, and preferably you need for someone to do it for you or with you the first time you do it. Okay? The only exception to that, I think, is losing your virginity. But other than that, it's it's pretty important. Now here's another client of mine, Polo Barroso. Polo's a super affiliate now, but when I first started with him in 2013, of course he wasn't. And he says, I got my first set of leads from Igor in 2013. I've been working with him ever since. He operates in a completely different level from everyone else. And remember, this is the affordable thing to do, because if you go on YouTube ads and you try to run ads there, you're looking at paying up to $20 per conversion, per opt-in, per somebody joining your list. On Facebook, the situation is even worse. You can pay up to $179 per conversion. And I know I've tested this. I've spent the money. What about Google search? Google search is no better than Facebook. The lowest I was able to get was 11 bucks. The highest is 154. So probably looking at somewhere in between, maybe 30, maybe $40 per email opt-in on your list. Can you really make it happen with that sort of cost per lead? Do you really think you can? No, 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 you can't. It's not possible. Your cost per lead needs to be below 10 bucks for you to be able to profitably grow your business. Plus, you need to be able to convert them consistently all the time. The very thing that I'm doing for you is what took me from this to this. My email list and consistent daily follow-up to that list with promotions is what took me from that crap hole where I started my business in that little I can't even call it a condo building. I mean, it was just it was a dump. That's actually my room where the arrows are pointing, to living in a different country, moving my family from Israel to Canada, living in Toronto, which means fourth most expensive city in the world, not cheap housing, very expensive housing in Toronto. Driving a Porsche, having two cars, living in a big house. I would never be able to afford it if this stuff wasn't working consistently. Plus, the lifestyle. I mean, we can't ignore the fact that it's one thing when you're making money, okay? But a whole other thing is when you actually have a life. That is very important. I don't know if it's important to you. It's important to me. I don't want to be a slave to my business. I don't want to be a slave to my source of income. I want my source of income to work for me. I want to be able to enjoy trips. I want to be able to spend time with my kids. I want to take on a crazy hobby, drive some sports cars. I want to go to a sporting event whenever you're allowed to go, of course, unless there's a pandemic. But that's what I'm saying. Freedom is just as important. And if you're wondering how can I do it, cheaper, or how can I charge you a management fee on top of the lead cost and still for it to be cheaper than you were trying to do it on your own? Well, it's very simple. It's because of my contacts, right? The deals I get, you don't necessarily get because you're not me. I know people. I've been in the industry for longer than you had. Because I buy email drops in bulk, so I get better rates. Because I've made the mistakes, so I know where the profit leaks are in the bucket, so to speak. Because I can tell when it's time to scale, when it's time to cut losses, and because I'm one of the best in the world at building email lists, period. In fact, here's a trick. I'll show you a trick, okay? How can I, easily minimize lead cost, something that not every beginner can do. So let's say for the sake of the math, we're driving 100 clicks at $300 at 20% opt-in, which means we get 20 email subscribers at 300 bucks. That means we paid $15 per email subscriber on our list. That's actually pretty normal for Facebook and Google. But let's say I tweak the landing page and I get to a point where I'm getting 40% opt-in rate. Guess what happens? Same clicks, same cost, but I get double the amount of leads from the same traffic, which means I get 40 email subscribers. And that means I'm only paying $7.50 per email subscriber on the list. Now, this is not ideal still. 7.5 is still a lot. But what I'm saying is there are ways to cut costs that an experienced person like me can do, can use, can pull off, and a beginner is simply not aware of. That's one of the reasons why I can really pull stuff like that off. I can really help you, save you a lot of time, save you a lot of money, and still be able to make this a win-win for both of us. Make sense? Okay. So just like Alex says here, opt-in rate and sales conversions are better than anything else I've tried, and I've tried a lot of different services. You can't go wrong with Igor. Anthony Morrison says, Igor's done a phenomenal job for us. I highly recommend him. Alex Zuber, another super affiliate, says, what I like most about Igor's traffic is his people actually opt in and buy. Arun says, it's not just the money, but the freedom and confidence that comes with it. I wouldn't have been able to achieve it without your help, Igor. Charlie Hudson says, my ROI on working with Igor has been absolutely amazing. I've quadrupled my business in starting with him. Chiara Franchica says, I recommend all my team members who want to build a big list with paid traffic to work with Igor. Igor's professionalism is second to none. David Deco says, Igor helped me build an online business that generates over $100,000 per month for me. Igor is the absolute master when it comes to traffic. Dean Holland says, I can count the number of people who impress me on one hand. If you get a chance to work with Igor, take it, because he's one of the few people who produces results. Joe Peterson says, I worked online for 14 years. I've done lots of promotions. By far, the number one promoter I've ever worked with is Igor Kafitz. Igor is amazing. John Cornetta, the co-founder of GrooveFunnels, says, go look on the entire internet and try to find more than 2 testimonials from me. One of them is from Mike Fulsame, the other is for Igor. That says it all. John Thornhill actually became John Thornhill #1 affiliate this year. The first time I promoted for him, I made $30,000. Eventually became 50 because he follows up with the leads. And basically he says, any chance you got to work with Igor, grab it. Not only will you make a ton of money, but you will learn a lot in the process. John Weberg says, I worked with some high caliber people over the years, and Igor stands above them all. Jono Armstrong says, Igor is the #1 traffic guy in the entire industry. Major Lance Sumner says, investing with Igor has been the best thing that happened to me. I was able to scale my list building, buy a Ford F-50 pickup truck, and started putting some money away for retirement. Matt Basak says, I watched Igor rise to become one of the greatest list builders I've ever met. Your bank account would be pissed if you don't work with Igor. He knows what he's doing. Omar and Melinda Martin say, if you have an opportunity to work with Igor, take it. He's a walking encyclopedia when it comes to email marketing. Sean Donahoe says, Igor's got the best systems. He always focuses on results. If you have a chance to work with him, grab it. Grab the opportunity with both hands. Wayne is a customer of mine. Igor is a master at driving quality traffic. His traffic is head and shoulders above all the other traffic sources I tried. All this is to say, if there's one guy who can help you build a big email list with quality traffic, that's yours truly. Okay? So this pretty much covers everything I wanted to share with you today. You will get the Rolodex for attending the training within the next 60 minutes. Okay? So once I end the webinar, if you don't get it within 60 minutes, please email us at igor@listbuildinglifestyle.com. Okay? But otherwise, wait up to 60 minutes and you will get an email containing this Rolodex. Okay? So again, you will get an automated email within 60 minutes containing the Rolodex. And if you don't get it, please email us at igor@listbuildinglifestyle.com. Besides that, there's really nothing else that I can share with you today. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you spending the time with me. Hope you have a great day. And please, whatever you do, start building your list. Take care.